Nowadays, we were just talking about how there's live streamers, they just showing their live and just everything in front of the camera, and they're making so much money off of that. Like people just talking about nonsense and people going on the comments and saying whatever they want, and everybody just partaking in those conversations because that's what's selling.
So we're bored as a society.
Well, I don't know if we're bored as a society because obviously the folks that are consuming those things, they are enjoying it. I think level of common sense is decreasing in society.
I think for me, I would start is the media and the things that we watch. Even if you do not have time, if you eliminate those things completely from your household, the kids will find other things to do. Welcome back, everybody. We are so excited to come back for another episode. Today, we're going to dive into media and entertainment industry, things that we would love to improve, like, to make the world a better place, and as well as things that we actually love. So I'll jump right into my questions and how we can start this. What are the things that we see that are dying right now in the entertainment industry? I can say when I was thinking of this question was substance. I feel like back then, watching a movie used to be like an experience, Like I feel like I just watched something and my knowledge was expanded a little bit, even if it was like to be funny or to be happy or something. There was like a plot, there was like a story that makes sense, Not so much of I feel like now we have so many watered down things and so many, like sometimes when you open Netflix and you can't find something to watch.
But what if that's because people are actually watching those things?
There are.
Because I always say, we as the people supporting something have the power.
Right.
If no one is watching something and entertaining,
they won't make more of it.
They won't make more of it. If you realize, and even in the music industry, how people that are real artists like Kendrick, a lot of them that really have lyrical, they're very, well versed when they rapping. They don't even have to say a curse word. I'm not saying he doesn't rap. I mean curse, but there are some well-known rappers, but a lot of their music are not popular, right? And entertainment is really the ratchetness that's we selling. And a lot of people have been preaching against it. But the reason for that is a lot of people enjoy the ratchetness. That's what they want to listen. That's what they I don't know what, for some reason they're attracted to that kind of, things of that doesn't have substance. And nowadays, we were just talking about how there's live streamers, they're just showing their live and just everything in front of the camera, and they're making so much money off of that. Like people just talking about nonsense and people going on the comments and saying whatever they want, and everybody just partaking in those conversations because that's what's selling.
So we're bored as a society.
Well,
With that, we bored.
I don't know if we're bored as a society because obviously the folks that are consuming those things, they are enjoying it. I think level of common sense is decreasing in society. But the same argument can be made for almost everything in America. The watered down version of everything. School, there's a watered down level of education. In church,
there's a watered down of the gospel.
Y'all said it, not me. Music and sports, watered down version. So now you have to pivot to ask yourself, what is bringing more money and what is the consumer is willing to buy? And that's exactly what happens. It's driven by economics. It's driven by, you have to understand every system has a guardian. Your ignorance benefits those who are the guardian of a system. So if they're going to push content that are, educating, content that kind of teach you about finance, content that kind of teach you about, emotional freedom and all those things. It's not good for the guardian of a system. So going back to the music, I think what we, especially within the tribal communities, when I say tribe, I'm referring to folks of African descent.
Mhm.
I think we need to create a system to first we need to understand the power of the media. That obviously we're communicating to people now. This is a
Mhm.
big power, big platform.
Right.
We need to use those positive images to promote the things that we want to do
Mhm.
toward going back to something that we always talk about, the re-education of the Negro.
Right.
I think
right.
that's what I would like to see
Mhm.
in media, but the rating is not there.
Mm.
If you want to hide something from a Negro, put it in a book and publish the book.
You say that a lot, but it's the truth. That's sad to say.
Oh my God.
Publish the
It's
darn
sad.
book.
This is so, yeah.
You know?
So
You know,
now they'll never find
they-
it.
never find it.
But if
So-
you put it in little clips and TikToks,
You know, so do you see what I'm saying? They have to make money.
Yeah.
The system is driven by money, economics.
how did we, the thing is, how did we get here? Because I don't believe, even though this is what most of, I guess, the population, is consuming, but how did we get to wanting those things? Because even
The
for
moment
my,
I was gonna tell you why. The moment those smart people who want to make money because of the economics, they understand. They
compromise.
come up with the Instagram, they come up with Facebook, and even though they don't let their own children, use those tablets, and they understand the psychological addiction that can happen once people just start going back and back and back, trying to get the same type of content, whatever it is, they're just scrolling.
Mhm.
They understand the impact that it has,
Yeah.
but they know how much money that is in it. So to them, it's like it doesn't matter, Although we are using this platform for good, but we know how detrimental it can be to our people.
And you got to understand, stupidity speaks louder than common
That's
sense.
true.
Yeah.
You see the hell that we get in here.
How we
just
hate ourselves.
So the thing is, a lot of us go like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. Why? And the stupidity, if you come in, you shaking your booty and doing some stupid thing,
Yep.
then you find a lot of people subscribing to that and buy this notion.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It's money.
Yeah,
It's
all
money.
about money.
It's a brainwashing too.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is
is.
a brainwashing.
It is.
I watched so we've been so we have no TV rules in our household during the week. So they can only watch TV during the weekend and things. But I saw a video that my daughter was watching one time. And it's just that girl who's just painting apples like regular people. And then in the same feed, you have those people who have the camera in front of their mouth. And then they're just eating, and then the crunchiness and things. And there's a bunch of video about somebody putting the camera in front of their mouth and then just eating, and everybody's just watching them. It's like 1 million views.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so if you have a child and you said, oh, these are the kids, and that's the YouTube kids.
Yeah.
So you have a kid who's just sitting in front of a computer watching people eat like ridiculous stuff or painting pineapple, whatever it is that they do, and they get 1 million views. So now how do I motivate you?
But you got to look at it from a bigger perspective as well. You are an educated parent. You are emotionally intelligent. You have a lot of parents who don't even want to deal with the kids. So now I have to give you an iPad so you could leave me the hell alone. So what exactly I don't care what you watch in that iPad, as long as you get out of my face and, now you are really consuming a bunch of trash, and then you continue to grow that way, and then you pass it from one generation to another. So I think it's going to go back to the idea of having parents who is able to parent. Now, I don't believe in raising kids. I think you cultivate the kid. You raise a cow.
That's
You
a good point more.
cultivate the child and trying to promote whatever that is within. But you have a responsibility to introduce them to certain things.
So the exposure.
The exposure. That's my job. But you have a lot of parents, what they do, just get this iPad so you can be quiet.
Yeah.
They cannot have this conversation sometimes because, number one, the parents cannot have those conversations with those kids.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the parents are not too bright. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes they have emotional problems.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing you got to remember, education can be a luxury,
Mm.
meaning that food comes before that. We have to eat. So if I have to work 10 hours a day at a
That's
place
right.
making $12 an hour,
Mm-hmm.
if I have to do that versus taking an hour to teach you something, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to work
Yeah.
10, 12 hours a day so I can keep the lights on. And then by the time I come home, I don't have time for you. You're
Tired.
in bed.
Right. Right.
So it's a bigger thing. So now the media is raising you, and that media is taking you wherever the hell
Wherever
they
they
want
want
you
to
to go.
go. Yeah.
And I think that's how we need to understand it.
Yeah. Even the
Um,
producer in power are not making efforts anymore.
why should
You
they?
know,
Why should they?
the movies
mean,
are worse and worse every
yeah.
day.
But
And,
it's
You know
and you know
grossing,
what
what
I'm
the
but it's
hell?
realizing
grossing
though?
more and more.
And no, but you know what I'm also realizing too? I don't know if it's because it's the American system, but I'm starting to be more attracted to like other
Culture.
culture movies rather than American movies. For some reason, I don't find American movies as entertaining and as, like
Like you like Korean
yeah, like
drama.
mind stimulating anymore.
Mm.
Because I feel like other cultures now have become more.
Or could it be like this is just like a fresh thing for you?
No, it
No,
goes back to
no,
what you were saying.
no.
It's dictated by what the population want.
Population one,
If you have an
yeah,
American population that
yeah,
wants trash and propaganda, then you're
yeah.
gonna get.
That's what
Do
it
you think
is.
the content you get from TikTok here is the same that they got in China or those
Yeah,
other
yeah, I
countries?
hear it's
No,
not the same.
yeah,
So if you have a society that is geared towards stupidity and trash, I'm gonna
exactly.
feed you stupidity and trash.
Yeah, that's what
If
it
you
is.
have a society that is geared toward knowledge,
That's what it is. Yeah.
But who's gonna take charge? Because we have a lot of those people who call themselves intellectuals and they're doing good in the community. And I know a lot of them are actually addressing those kind of issues, especially with teens and then
And
like the
I have
youth and
ooh.
these things, or even at the church. But
you
I
love
feel
talking
like
about the church.
I do, because I'm a church kid. But even when we do that, we never seem to reach the people that matters. You
Have
know,
you heard
I
of
mean, the people that matter.
Yeah.
Like the people who actually are producing a lot of movies that people can benefit from. Like, I feel like once let's just say a person that we love in a community, right? Tyler Perry, right?
Mhm.
He has the money to create a lot of content that can impact a whole lot of people, right?
Mhm.
But some of his movies back then, I feel like The Family That Prays was such a good movie. Diary of a Mad Woman, all of those things, like great content and things. But it seems to be there is a pattern where
No.
our producers go big and all of a sudden we lose the content.
Substance
We
and the
lose the substance
Mhm.
of the things that we are consuming. And that goes across the line for, I feel like, all of the industry.
Mhm.
Right now in America, the entertainment industry is just
Could it be
trash.
could
It's
it be
just like
because that I know
sex.
my followers, I already got you at ships. Anything I
Yeah.
tell you I give you, you're gonna accept it, then I don't need to work hard.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
the reason why even on the show I tell people, don't just take what I say, go research
Research it yourself.
You know, could it be that I already know I have 1,000,000, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5,000,000? They're a bunch of ships. Whatever I give them, they will never question.
And also, it's
And
all
I
about
just push it out.
continuing making that money because you have people that are obviously intellectuals and that are knowledgeable. They won't let their own family do it, but they don't care about you. You mean nothing to them. All you are is a customer that they're just feeding things to that's making them richer. Just because they're intellectual doesn't mean that they don't have some type of, they have some type of care
Well,
for
having a degree-
society.
Having a degree doesn't mean that you're
Doesn't mean you're
intellectual.
intellectual
That's
either.
true,
And
that's
that
true,
too.
that's
And that
true.
also, yeah. So there's that as well. And then there's also, I mean, this is just conspiracy talking here, where
Oh, what are we starting with? Lord have mercy.
that's maybe sometimes when you become too big, or there are people that are in a certain, level that will make sure that you know your place, or that will make sure that you have your limits.
Suppression?
Yeah, maybe they're your limit. I mean,
But I don't-
people believe
I don't
that
think
where it's
so.
like,
I don't
well,
buy this nonsense.
because it's like they're rich. Why are you having to keep feeding that same thing to your society when you have the power to be able? I mean, you bought a whole plantation, for God's sake. So why do you keep feeding the same storyline of, although it is there, it's the storyline of Black Americans and people that are relating to those kind of content. But why?
Do you think there's like a spiritual aspect of it? Because I watched this
Spiritual.
podcast.
Everything is spiritual.
Everything is
Everything is
spiritual. I
spiritual.
agree, but I think
Yeah.
you're gonna disagree where I'm going. Like there's a demon behind it.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know if you. I think a lot of these things are demonic.
What is?
Especially in America, the movies that we are watching, there is like this obsession right now to expose us to witchcraft. There is this like obsession about like, you know, sexual movies and like teen sexual movies. And I remember there was a time, there was like several shows on Netflix where you have, it used to be like if it's like youth, like 16, they're showing you, you know, youth in high school and things like that. Then you get the kissing, and then you get like the peck, you know, now they're showing you explicit sex with like teen and things, and there is no like, oh, viewer discretion is, I mean, whatever it is that they used to. It's like now it's just like up. People don't have to go hide to watch porn anymore because most of the movies that you're watching, they're already right there.
Yeah. Yes and no.
I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I have enough knowledge of this topic to call it demons. What I do know is that there's a market for it.
Yeah.
In America, in capitalism, wherever there's a market for it, someone is gonna make the thing to sell.
To sell, yeah.
So there's a market for porn or anything of pornographic content. Then they exploit the market, which is capitalism at its best. I don't
But
know
it's
if
too
there's
accessible
demons.
now.
I don't know if it's
Back in
demons
the day,
or
people didn't have-
spiritual. I don't.
Yes.
It's too
like I
Because
said,
then
I
what
don't.
are they promoting? Are they promoting like good
Money.
moral values and Christianity
Promoting
or making
money.
you a better
Well,
person?
But this is
They
not
don't care about
but
that.
but this is not a. I know there's a separation of state in religion here, although it is just on paper, it's just nonsense. But this is not. The Bible is not the constitution of this country. So we are not, the mission of the government is not to push Christianity. It's not for people to
be good Christians.
No,
Although that's what it is now, right?
that's not. That's just
What it's so called.
Yeah, we need to
So called to be.
we need to move away from this this idea. It's money. That's all it is. It's green. It's not nothing else. I made the argument that everything in America, everything you do is second to the dollar. You go to the hospital, healthcare is secondary, the dollar is first. You go to a school, education is secondary, the dollar is first. You go to a church, the spiritual thing is secondary, the dollar is first. So the dollar takes precedence over every single thing that happens here in America. It is what it is.
It's sad that the church is even part of that category.
Even the Constitution too. The so-called Constitution that used to be sacred.
What do you mean the church is not?
No, because it's like the spirituality is secondary, which when it's not supposed to be.
Is it not? Is it not? That's not the case?
No, it is the case.
Okay.
Yeah, it is
All
the
right.
case. Yeah,
So
it is
we
the
need
case.
to understand
Sadly.
that what we need to do is to ask ourselves, how can I get part of that money and use it for good purpose?
Yes, exactly.
So now how can we do that? Because that's what
Doing what we're doing right now.
Well, that's true. We are doing it right now. But here is the thing, though. Sometimes I feel like the us who are doing the good things, it's not getting as far as the watered down version of
That is
things
true.
and things like that. Even though we say all the time you have to focus in your family, make sure you educate in your family, or make sure you're doing work in your community and things like that. But it's still the thing that you don't want. That's just widespread, you know, the ridiculous videos and the TikTok things and the people with the large following and big platforms who are just here not doing anything, not saying anything. So do you think maybe we should consider allyship, like where you partner?
With who?
I wonder if we should get to a point where we partner a little bit with mediocrity to make change.
Well,
But how they're gonna? Let me ask you this: if you're selling water, this is how you make a lot of money. I'm coming with this bottle of water as well. I'm selling a water that is against the water that you're selling. That if I get to sell my water, you're not gonna be in business. Aren't you gonna do all you can to make sure that this water does not come out of the market?
Can
exactly.
we sell both of our waters?
No,
No, people. That's not how they feel.
no.
it's sad. That's not how they feel. But I don't agree that we should do the mediocrity just because we want to, because I do
No,
believe.
I'm not saying we should do it.
Oh, okay.
For example, I've seen a lot of people partner with people with bigger platform to share certain kind of message because they know the population that's following them. So it's not because you believe in them. Like, I'm not gonna be sitting and doing what you're doing.
I see what you're saying.
But I know you have the impact. So I'm gonna partner with you to help me pass a message. It's not necessarily
That
me
makes
crossing
sense.
over doing what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
So
I think we should accept the fact that some people got to go to hell, some people got to go to heaven, and then we
so let them go.
Let them go.
what do you?
No, we can do our part. I mean, so
We're doing our part. That's what we're talking.
now he makes me want to bring up a subject
are we
in Bible
talking?
study.
We're
Go ahead.
There's a
Bring it
subject
up.
that we
My friend, is it? Oh, we're doing. What you mean? We're not doing our part. We're doing our
we're
part.
doing our part. I know we are doing our part,
But you
but
can save them from hell.
that is true. I mean, you're doing your part, and you can say, but it's funny because some people believe
my
that
God.
there are people that are just gonna go to hell. There's nothing they can do, and then
I mean,
there's like people that are already
Okay,
born saved, so it's like there's nothing you can really do.
And we do have
let
great
me
clarify this.
writers.
Let
We
me
have great
clarify this.
writers. Yeah.
When I say hell, I'm not talking in the religious.
Right.
sense of it.
Right.
We,
Okay.
we
Live
know
in
what
your
you
struggle.
mean.
Right.
Like stay in
Stay in your struggle and your stupidity.
That if that's what you want,
to
But
call
that's
it.
how we get here. That's how we got here. Because
no.
So
the
what
people
about
who
Harriet
knows,
Tubman?
No.
Why don't?
Got
What
you.
about
We
Harriet
don't
Tubman
talk.
having to pull the gun to make sure that they get out of
so
that?
we should start
So
putting
we
No.
should we maybe come a little harder and be like, get out of there, shake them out of it. Maybe it's the demon. They can't see it.
I'm telling you, it's a deep. No,
No, but
every
here's
now
the
and then,
thing.
in
Here's the
every
thing that
era.
here's the thing that I
Right,
problem
right.
that I have with y'all Christians at times.
It's not
You said it's a spirit, it's demons.
Mm.
But how is it possible that the demon?
We're giving you
It's
too much
like
credit.
we have two football teams here. Every time I play you, you keep on whooping my butt. That means your team is better than mine. So how is it possible you, the Christian, you telling me, oh, the devil is always doing this? But what about the power that is within you? Why you never whoop the devil's ass?
That's true.
We are whooping the devil's ass.
He's
But
winning
here
in
is
that
the
case.
thing. But here is the thing, though. You
Raining
can't
now.
exactly push. No, I know what I have. I know my values as a Christian and things like and what I believe
So maybe
in.
it's not the devil.
So
it's
that
the
devil
human
doesn't
being.
have power over me
It
in my
is.
household, right? But I'm talking about how can you pull other people? And the reason that I said sometimes
But
it's
God created
demonic.
some people to go to hell too. Let them go to hell. Relax.
Wait, what do you mean? God
God
people
created some
created
people
some people to go to hell?
Well-
So you do believe in that notion that once saved, always saved?
No.
So you already that's
So
a good. That's a good.
Yeah.
that's a
Do you
good
believe like
argument.
once saved, always saved?
But-
Once,
Like whatever you do,
whatever
you're
you
going
do,
to
you're going
heaven.
to hell.
I don't know whatever you do, but some people, if there is such thing as a hell or heaven, I don't know.
Mm.
If there is such thing, I'm sure.
Rare.
This is getting great. You don't believe in the notion of hell and heaven?
I said I don't know.
So you don't know?
I do not know. Do you know?
But here is why I
but
say
what I'm
so.
saying,
Yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
All joke aside, I do not know. Stop. If there is such a concept of hell and heaven, some people are going to hell, some people are going to heaven.
Mm.
Just like on earth, some people are gonna be, living a nice life. Some will be living a miserable life. It is what it is. So now the question that we must ask ourselves is that despite my work, will I be able to keep everybody from going to hell?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
would
You
I,
will.
I mean,
You will.
would I be able to prevent some people from going to hell?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And accept the fact that
There's
you will
nothing you
not
can
be
do.
able to save everyone.
And not everyone wants to be saved. I'm
Want to
going
be
to be
saved.
honest.
Yeah. People
Just
are
like a
comfortable
teacher.
where they are.
Yeah.
You think everybody in that classroom is going to be a successful lawyer, doctor, or whatever? Some has to be losers.
Yeah.
The society need losers, and some gonna be losers. You have to accept the fact that I'm gonna teach my butt off every time I come in.
Right.
The information
And some people won't take
it's
it.
up to you.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. But that doesn't stop us from doing our part. But like you said, we can't force people.
Yeah, I understand. But here's where I was going before you guys started laughing about my demonic theory.
We give the devil
There
too
is a
much
thing
power
they call
sometimes.
too much.
Sometimes
No,
it's
no, no,
it's
no,
just
no,
the
no, no.
human
It's not even
nature.
too much. It's not even too much power. I mean, we have to admit it. You have
Yeah.
two sides. I mean, it's more like three because you have us
Yeah.
of free will, and then you have God, and then you have
Exactly.
the devil. But so if you don't think he's behind those things, so what do you think he's doing? He's
Yeah, that's
just
true.
chilling
That's
on
true.
Earth.
I agree with that
You
I
to a
know,
don't.
certain
because
extent.
Here's
there
the
is that
thing.
To a
there is
certain
a thing
extent,
that
I
we
agree.
study. There was a thing like they call zygus. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
the spirit of
Spirit.
the moment, the spirit of the era,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you see certain things being promoted,
Yes.
you know there's something in the air,
Yeah, that's true.
and you know there's something in the
Is there
air,
such thing as the spirit of the dollar, spirit of money?
and the spirit behind the
and the
dollar,
spirit behind the dollar can, yeah, that's
and
What
true
the
is it?
too.
spirit
What is
behind
the
the
spirit
dollar,
behind?
That's
What is
true.
the spirit behind the dollar?
the people who are using it to promote corruption.
Well, it's the people. That's no spirit.
You mean that?
So those people are possessed. So
How
what
do
she's
you
trying
think
to say
the
is those
spirit? The
people,
spirit can't operate. Let's talk. Okay,
yeah,
let's talk
because
about.
we are a spirit.
You
If
can't
you want to be
operate.
honest, too,
If you're a
right?
spirit, you need a vessel.
Right.
Spirit don't operate
Right.
on
They
the
don't
Yes,
operate.
planet.
Yeah,
yes,
we are
yes.
more
Okay,
spiritual
so
anyway.
so there is the free will where I might be operating by myself, but I can be possessed by a spirit to do
Yeah,
certain
you
things.
can.
But here's what I'm saying though. If I
I think
like
both
get,
can exist.
if I like getting paid, I do like getting paid, and I realize that when I do this, I get paid. I continue to do it. I don't know how I can say it's the spirit. I just do it because I like getting paid. I get paid.
What is it that you are doing that is getting you paid is the question. Like, you like getting paid, but what you okay, for example, let's just say somebody is I mean, like more like they do modern prostitution now with the
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans and stuff like that. Okay, you like getting paid. I mean, those girls or whatever men. I don't know if they have men on there.
They
They're
paid-
getting paid.
I
They're
wouldn't know
paying for
'cause
their.
I don't know. I never do
They're
that.
getting
I,
paid.
I never do that type of
Some,
research.
some people, some people are getting paid over there,
Millions. They're
like
getting
millions.
Is it the toes? I heard you get a lot for toes.
Yeah, they're doing everything.
My God.
Toes,
These
Toes,
toes,
feet,
these toes
whatever,
don't
and
don't serve
things.
me any purpose.
legs, or the genou.
Or even, but you know what? Let's not even take that example. A pimp, for example,
Mm.
you getting paid.
But I think the point that I'm making to you, all joke
Mm.
aside, is that it is a society that is driven by money, and they'll do anything for money.
For money.
That's all it is. I don't know if we should blame the devil for
But I think
men's greed.
I think it could be
There
both.
is.
I
Me
personally,
too.
I think it could be both.
Then
I
what-
think it could be both. I think it could be society driven by money and people behind them making actual decisions. But I also think to a certain extent, there are people who are possessed by the devil that do think that are not. Obviously, it's strictly, you can tell in the spiritual realm, this is somebody that is literally out to make sure they destroy somebody.
It's an agenda. When
It's
you
an
start
agenda.
seeing
So-
like things that
so
used
let
to
me-
be
So
like a
there is
corruption,
such a thing.
you know,
There
like
is
things
such a
that
thing.
you would consider as pedophilia
Yeah.
is being normalized.
Exactly.
Okay, it's an agenda.
Yeah, there's a
Well,
spirit
It's
behind
a
that too.
huge
Yeah, there's an
agenda,
agenda.
you know?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but you have to realize whenever you have a society that asks for something, the powers to be are going to pivot to give
Yeah,
that society
If
that something.
Is something. Yeah.
And the devil can still use that to get into other people and to get into the minds of
Get more
younger
people in
children.
that-
And
I am
and more
from the school
people-
of thought that
Yeah.
if God wants to stop it, he will not allow the devil to do it. If he allowed the devil to do it, it's because he's doing it for a specific reason. The way that God can give, he did it with Israel, give you a king of a bad king just to teach you a lesson.
You think God
He-
Yeah.
just left us
He
to
left
our
us-
desires?
look at
Yeah.
it.
It
Look
is
at
a
it.
curse, yeah.
Yeah.
It's number-
When you what was the story? That guy, what's that prophet?
Samuel?
The one that God said, "Hey, go get a prostitute. You marry that prostitute, and then you see, I know that Bible girl.
Yeah.
You marry the prostitute,
Yeah.
marry that prostitute. You're gonna call the first child whatever, and that means you are not my people. And then all those
I forgot his
So,
name.
was this one of the small prophets? I don't remember
Yeah,
his name.
yeah.
Was it a Hosea?
I think you was it
Yeah.
Hosea? I
He
think.
said, "Go get a whore." That's what the Bible said.
Yeah, and even
So-
when she cheated, he said, "Go get her back."
Yeah. So the thing is, even if we go with what you were saying is demonic, is God using demonic purposes to teach a specific lesson? These are philosophical questions I'm asking.
Right.
You know, to teach you a lesson. I don't know if we should point fingers saying that devil did. No, he's not innocent. That's not what we're saying here.
And that's exactly
But
what I'm saying.
I
He's
think
not.
I think what the problem that I have with the church, it becomes so devil focused that everything that's happening in the
Everything is the
society,
devil.
everything that's happening in the society is the devil. Well, where's the power that I gave you?
I mean, just because we have a power doesn't mean we should not acknowledge when the devil is working too.
Yeah, but he says that if God is for you, who shall
Nobody
be
can
against
be
you?
against you.
And he does that.
That's true.
He doesn't lie, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I do like that analogy, like, you know, if you trust in your power as a Christian, then you won't be so focused on what the devil is doing.
No,
Yeah.
But at the
that's
same
nonsense.
I mean, I don't think we should be
I
blind.
know. I don't think.
You're
Yeah,
not
I don't
blind.
think.
I mean,
until
but
to
I
an
dare
extent,
be
I think you should
aware.
still be self-aware. You should
Yeah.
be aware that there
What-
is
what
such
am I
a
go-
thing as
what-
the spiritual, to be careful.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if I'm going into spiritual
And know
warfare,
what
I'm going into
era you-
spiritual warfare.
Yeah, because
But
there is such a
I'm
thing.
not running from you. Just bring it if you want. I'm gonna whoop your butt. That's how we should look at it.
That's
I see
true.
what you
Okay.
mean. Yeah,
True.
yeah.
So
You
why
shouldn't be
should I
afraid.
Why should I be concerned on that?
Yeah.
Why should I be
Right.
concerned? Going back to something, let me clarify for y'all. This notion of belief and knowing. You said, "Do I know?" I told you I don't know that there's a concept. If the concept of hell and heaven is a thing, I don't know. Do I believe? I believe. I always establish a difference between believing and knowing. The only reason why you believe is because you don't know. Do I believe I have a car outside? No, I know I have a car outside.
So do you?
That is some clarification.
Do you
That is
believe?
some
Do you
clarification.
believe you have two hands? No, you know you got two hands.
Yeah.
So the reason
can
why
see
you
your
hold
two hands,
into
okay.
a belief is because you don't know.
Okay. So now, would somebody say the same thing about believing in God?
Then that's the reason why you cannot walk with God if you don't know God.
You don't have faith.
No, not
You
faith.
have
need
to have
know
a personal
God.
So you need to
revelation.
know
You
God.
need to know God.
You have to
That's
have a
what I'm
personal
saying.
revelation.
Whatever
There you
that
go.
spirit is,
I love that.
Yeah.
you
Okay.
cannot believe in the spirit. You
Yeah.
have to know
Know
the spirit.
Yeah, that's true.
The spirit, the same thing for God.
Yeah, even when you study the Bible, you say like Samuel wasn't a prophet because God has not revealed himself to him.
Yes.
yet.
Yes.
Even
That's what
though
I'm
he
saying.
was in the
Yes.
temple,
Yeah.
but he didn't know God.
God, he
That's
didn't
what
know
I'm
God.
saying.
Because
A
God
bunch of
hasn't
Christians that
revealed-
people they
yeah.
don't know what the heck they're
But
saying.
you know something though, I want us to kind of just end with like solutions on how actually people can focus on educating their own community and educating their own home and things like that. I think for me, I would start it's the media and the things that we watch. Even if you do not have time, if you eliminate those things completely from your household, the kids will find other things to do. You know, they'll go outside and pick stuff and do other things and stuff like that. When if you can't sit down with them and then play and do certain things, and also even for you as grown-ups, I think we need to be mindful about the things that we're choosing to watch. You know,
Well,
the
I have a
things that we're
question about
feeding
that.
our spirit.
I have a question about that.
Look at that
No,
one.
because it was a topic and I had to battle.
You're
No.
triggered.
Because it was a internal battle that I was having with what's the Ryan Coogler? Yeah, so he had a movie that he just that just came out with
The Sinner?
The Sinner, and a lot of Christians were saying that we shouldn't be watching this as Christians because of the vampire and spirits that is in there. You're opening gates for the spirits to come into your lives.
They did like real
And yeah, they were, and then
rituals.
some people, and there's other Christians that were saying, "Wait, why would you do that? If anything, that would be the best thing to watch. So you can understand these things do exist, and that your God is more powerful than this, and how the devil can use different things to get you into doing whatever that he wants you to do." Like, so people
So did you watch it?
so they go watch it. They're like, "Well, that doesn't mean that a spirit's gonna come into me just because I watched this, right?"
Did you watch it?
No, I did not.
You're scared.
I'm internally
struggling.
battling whether or not it's a real thing, because I'm like, God, is that a sin if I really go and watch this? Because
but
I
I've
think
been
it
warned.
has a personal.
I've been
Here's
warned
the
that I
thing.
shouldn't watch it, but I want to watch it.
shouldn't have
But I don't
that.
believe that the spirit will go into me. I
But
really
if
don't
you-
believe that.
if
I
you-
really don't.
But okay, but
don't
you're
believe the
afraid to
spirit-
watch it.
I'm afraid only because I feel like, what if God really didn't want me to watch it? So those people
Yeah,
are
but-
telling
But
me,
that's a
because
fear.
there are people that are close to me telling me this.
That's
thing.
a
'Cause
fear.
Me and GV already planned we were gonna watch it. That was a fact.
I
But
wouldn't.
let me
now I'm
ask you
like,
this.
should I
Here's the
watch
problem
it?
that I have with a lot of you guys.
You othering us.
Seriously.
I'm
Okay.
feeling honored. Like,
Okay,
oh,
here's the problem.
guys,
Shouldn't
Here's the
we
problem.
watch it?
Christians and
Here's the problem. You listening every time a Christian tell me not to do something, I want to do it.
sounds like
Okay.
Trouble.
Okay. All right.
Trouble.
All right. But here's the thing. You here struggling, fighting. And then you saying that I have a relationship with that God. Why can't I go to that God and ask him?
that's a good.
I
that's-
did.
Yeah, that's
Why
a
can't I
good-
go directly to you?
I
and,
did.
And then
And ask,
he
can I
said,
watch this?
I haven't gotten an insert block.
okay, that means until further notice, God, I'm gone.
And I did. I literally said,
You know,
I was like, why do
because-
I feel? I'm like, I was
because-
battling with it because I
Oh
literally
my
prayed.
God.
I was like, God, I know
I'm
people
gonna
are
do
saying
further
this. Like,
notice.
shouldn't I be? Because I don't feel afraid.
Here is
I'm
my
afraid only
personal
because
opinion.
of what people are telling me. And I'm like, is this you? Is this really you? Like, shouldn't I?
No,
I haven't gotten
it's
an
like
answer.
what we said about if it's a maybe, it's a no. That's how I feel.
No,
But
I
here is
no,
here
I
is a.
disagree with
I'm
you.
saying, yeah, you can disagree,
That's fine.
but here is the thing. It has to do with your personal belief. If you believe if I go watch this, I'm opening portals, you already open portals. So it doesn't
I don't
matter
believe
what the
that.
She doesn't believe
I
that.
don't believe that.
If you don't believe it,
So that I
then
can
you
watch
can
it.
watch it and you'll be fine. But that would also depends on your walk and your spiritual walk, because there is such a thing where certain people are not allowed to do things. It's not because it's not biblical. It's not because it's in the Bible, but because according to your personal journey with God,
I agree with you.
some
Yeah.
things are forbidden for you as a person.
I
Yeah.
agree
Right?
with you.
So you should not be listening to the mass saying, "Oh, if you want me, like I can't watch this." You may not be able to watch it, and somebody
So-
can watch it and
So
take a
let me ask
lesson
you
from
this
it.
then. I
Right?
agree with
I
you.
watched Wakanda
Then can the
Forever. It's the
mass-
same thing. It has a lot of things in
What
it.
is that?
Wakanda Forever. It's the Black Panther movie. You don't watch Black, yeah, the Black
yeah, I
Panther.
watch all of them.
I agree with you then. In that case, can the mass be educated to shut the hell up when they got an assignment that is a
Never gonna
personal
happen.
assignment and
Yeah,
stop
stop
assigning to the
to other
group?
people. Yeah.
Stop assigning a personal assignment to the
Yeah.
group, if that's what you're saying.
Right,
Yeah.
If
right.
you get something communicated to you for Patricia, keep it to
It's
yourself.
yourself.
But
Stop
here-
trying to put it on me.
What if you have
And
a
you know,
testimony?
and
Your testimony is for you.
no,
And this is why I
the
go and pray about
testimony
it
gives
myself,
people-
Doc.
Let me
because
tell you
sometimes
something.
what happening with the Christian, atmosphere, it's like, we're in Christian environment. It's like you get so many different people opinion. And I'm not one to follow what people tell me to do, but I
Right.
do consult God. And when I don't get an answer about it, like my spirit is not at ease. And I'm like, I still want to watch it.
If
but
your spirit is
I
at
still-
ease, don't
no,
watch
my spirit
it.
is not at ease only because
No,
I'm
your-
worried that these are people are saying me
Oh,
something
saying
I'm not
that
listening.
It's a
not-
psychological concept. Her spirit is not at peace.
Psychological warfare.
Yes, it's not at peace because there's a struggle between the society that she's living in that's telling her
Right.
you
Yeah.
should not do it.
Yeah.
It has
Me,
nothing to do with a God.
Yeah.
Nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
So now what you ought to do, go to God
I feel like I'm
and ask him, because I have the same relationship. I don't need someone to talk to
Tell
Yeah.
you
what
for
to
me.
do.
Exactly.
I'm going to talk to you. You let me know,
Yeah.
please. Because he said, if you seek,
you
Right.
fine.
You're fine.
you'll find.
I want to respond to what you
I wonder
said
if that's my
I
answer
like,
today.
I like my
It is,
Bible.
it is.
Yeah, there you go. Hey,
Look
hey,
at that.
if that was a Baptist church, if I preach that sermon in a Baptist church, boy, I get $2,000.
I wonder if that was my answer today.
A
But
Baptist
you know
church?
something?
Hey, if I preach that in a Baptist church today, I get a good 2 or 3 grand, girl.
So
It's about the
driven
money,
by
I
the
thought.
money. It's driven by the money. Before we end, I want to respond to the fact that people should not share the testimony so they're not misleading the mass. I do think sometimes people are listening to people's testimony and take it as the gospel.
Sometimes they lie in the testimonies.
That too. There's that too. There's that too. That testimony is all the way made up. They
You
play
got
in God's face.
Oh.
They play in God's face.
Especially
Play in God's
Haitian.
face.
Let me add into that.
Because sometimes, because the Bible also say, like, when I do something for you, it's not really just, I mean, the journey is for you, right? For your growth.
Yes.
But once you get the reward, you should go and share so people can know my glory,
Right.
right?
Right.
So,
No, you're right. That is true. That is biblical. Because God always tell us to remember.
of
My
course,
Lord have mercy.
Remember.
remind
Remind
others,
us
you know?
what we were
They
So-
removed
lie.
from.
They lie, man.
You have to have critical listening.
No, that is true too. But then again, I feel like what Doc is saying is if you have your own spirit of discernment,
Yes.
if you have your own personal relationship with God, whatever
Yeah.
people bring to you, and that's why
Yes.
the Bible did warn us about false prophets,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
People are gonna go on social media and say whatever they want to say, and they're gonna be on pulpits
Yeah.
preaching the word that is definitely not biblical or biblically supported,
Mm.
and you're gonna take it as if it's the gospel because you don't have your own personal relationship with God, right?
But
And
what
you don't
about
have
the
your own
prophets?
spiritual walk.
What about prophets who get
Yes.
messages from God
Well,
and then that share those messages? Like there is one person actually personally that like I trust because of the way that she preaches and things like that, and she reveals something about an artist and the song that the person was singing and how they were um driven by like certain rituals and things like that.
Mm.
And everybody already had
Mhm.
the how you say the presentiment. I don't know if it's like in
Preconceived
English.
notion.
Preconceived notion that this was happening. But then she said that she had this dream and she shared her dream. So
Oh.
those things they're real.
They are
here's
real.
one thing I can.
But would you be able to identify those people?
Here's one
Because you
thing
will
I
tell
know.
by their fruits.
Here's one thing I know.
The Bible says you know by their fruits,
Here's one
right?
thing I know.
And that,
So
and,
you are
and that's
able
why
to
that's why
identify
I'm able
those
to
people when they do come.
right.
Here's what I know.
Mm.
There tend to be a lot of prophets in poor neighborhoods and poor or in poor population. Africa has a lot of prophets. One of the poorest continent, although we are rich as a continent, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
So is it possible that they are praying on those who are looking for miracles? Because when there's poverty, miracles are needed.
But miracles do happen in Africa.
I'm not saying
I
that.
do
I'm
believe
not
the
saying it doesn't happen.
spirituality
I'm
level
not
over
saying it
there
doesn't
is
happen.
higher.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
Mm.
What I'm saying is, why is it that we have some of the poorest nations have more
Churches.
profits than anything else?
Mm.
Maybe there's a correlation, a direct relationship between poverty and miracles
Even here
and
in America,
laziness.
the churches are in the.
When I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I don't study for that test. I want God to work a miracle. It'll be
Mhm.
easier for me to study for the test and ask God to do His will.
It could also
Mhm.
be that it's easier to believe in a higher power when you don't have the resources.
yes.
Mhm,
Yes.
You know.
mhm,
Yeah.
it is.
Because if I don't have
So-
money, I don't know where I'm gonna get it, and somebody tell me
Either
that
way,
there is a
you're
God
gonna
who
get
can
it.
do miracle.
Yeah.
Either way, is it God or are you just praying on me? There's another thing that I know, that there's a God. I know.
For a fact.
I know that. I know that. And I know that I can talk to Him.
Mm.
I don't need you to talk to Him for me. Now, there might be something that He used you to tell me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But He's going to put me at peace because He told me that He gives me the spirit of
of
yeah,
peace,
yeah,
not
yeah.
a spirit of confusion.
Confusion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I know.
Exactly.
So that's why I continue to proceed on this lane
You
because
just
I can talk
earned
to Him myself.
Amen.
Another $5,000.
Amen.
Are you-
Another five. No, let's end on that note. Let's end on that note. I love that. That was nice.
Yep. Well,
$1,000, yeah, ain't
another
no money.
$5,000. You know.
I love it.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and we are asking you to share this with your community, and remember to mind your wellness
Because
it's your business.